Yeah, David Stevens it is who's come up from the back. He is a unit. Ball into the middle and it's fall forward Stevens. And it might even be hooked in. And it's hacked away from the edge of the 6-yard area. Boreham Wood tried to keep it alive, but Shaibu can't keep it in on the far side, and it's out to play for a throw-in. But the corner, it almost seemed like time had stopped there. The ball dropped on the edge of the 6-yard box. Everyone was almost waiting for a whistle, but it's cleared away. It was aimed in at David Stevens in the middle. Thomas will take the corner himself on the near side, whipped in with pace, and it's cleared away. Only as far as the edge of the box though, and Boreham Wood have had an excellent start here. Thomas is going to put the ball back into the box. It's another good delivery, and it drops loose and it's cleared away. And Pools can't have any relief at the moment. It's back at them, and Thomas has got away down the right in all kinds of space here to the byline. He gets a cross in, and Kyoso blocks it away, but Boreham Wood still have it. Ricketts down the line, but Thomas is getting all kinds of space here, and Featherstone tries to come across and deal with him, but Thomas drills it in, and Kabamba heads it away.
Good out of that.
Collected by Kieran Murta now.
Can I get out?
Femi Osanmi, everybody behind the ball for Pools at the moment. Osanmi's ball forward is poor though, and it'll go all the way through for Killip. In 4 previous games, they've actually never scored a goal against Pools. So they're looking for a first this afternoon. Ashmore drives it long, looks a bit too long, is it? Oh no, it's going to be kept in on the far side. Pools have to work hard, and Kerr can't get there on the edge of the box, and it falls loose for Boreham Wood again, and it's steered into Shamanga's path. Sharp turn, shot is deflected wide. Michael Rains got in front of it, but that was a sharp piece of play by Kabongo Shamanga on the edge of the box.
He's bright, isn't he, Mark? He's you know, he's sharp, he's first to the ball, you know, he's always got an eye for goal, he's always looking to shoot. But the build-up of that was the lad in the midfield. Again, they're on the front foot and the first to every second ball. First to the ball. The
first to every ball, aren't they? And then that's not helpful from Kerr, who missed his kick. Houlihan nudged off the ball, and then Murta comes forward again and plays it right-hand side for Marsh. Marsh looking to find a route around Kerr here. He's got support with Kane Smith. The ball is put into the area. Shamanga can't get it this time, and Houlihan and Mafuta run into each other almost. Kitching, right-footed, scoops it away towards the halfway line. But forward they come again. Shamanga onside. Shot comes in. It's a decent hit from Marsh, but it's always rising. And it's over the top of the crossbar, and it's a goal kick to Pools. Ball forward there by Kerr towards Kabamba, falls for Featherstone, but Pools haven't been able to get their foot on the ball at all this afternoon. Featherstone with a good charging down on the far side, and Luke James tries to head it on, and it falls loose on the halfway line. It's come kindly as well for Kane Smith on the near side.
Good run from the right back there, he hasn't seen him.
He is now, yeah, and Smith's gone forward into the right position here on the fringe of the box. He cuts it back to the edge of the area. Here's Smith. Oh, he's done well. He gets around Kitchen into the box. He cuts it back, and it's over the top from Marsh. What a chance that was for Boreham Wood. Kane Smith set the play up. Marsh should surely have hit the target.
Should have done better, because it wasn't a difficult chance, Mark. He's just laid it back. The young right back's done well. Got more or less to the byline, just a little slide roll back. But Marsh has missed the target. Should have at least worked the goalkeeper, at least.
Quarter of an hour gone at Victoria Park. It is still goalless.
Good lad.
Cleared away well by Pools onto the halfway line, but it's brought back forward by Champion. Chance though for Donaldson to nick possession, and now suddenly there's a chance for Pools to break forward here. Donaldson's got Kabamba to his right, and he's got Houlihan! The goalkeeper came out and closed him down. Well, it looked like it had gone to the right man. The man cannot stop scoring at the moment, Gavin Houlihan, but he took a touch and it brought him a little wide. I thought maybe he could have just hit it first time, Brian.
That's my first instincts, Mark. Why didn't he just shoot straight away? I don't think it was a need to take a touch. If he took it straight away, I think he would have scored. He'd just give the goalkeeper that little split second just to shut the angle off.
Kabamba challenging, and suddenly the ball is falling to a blue shirt rather than a luminous yellow one, as Boreham would have gone on today. James is thrown to the ground there off the ball, but it's continued to be played across to the near side, and now Kitchen will try and make progress down the left. He's got to the edge of the area here, puts back on his right foot and tees it up for Houlihan. Houlihan looking for an angle here. Kitchen pulls out wide. Houlihan goes through the middle for James, who turns and whips one, and it takes a nick off the defender, and it's a corner again. Luke James might have been going straight towards the goalkeeper, but it took a little flick off the top of the defender's head, and it's a corner.
Yeah, good play from Luke, but again, good build up. Mark Kitchen on the left hand side, just fed a little ball into his feet, and Luke turned, There's nothing else in his mind other than shoot.
And now 3 Boreham Wood players are having to come out of the box because Pools have got 3 over there, and it's a great ball whipped in, cleared away only as far as Houlihan. Kitchen's there, it's on his right foot, but he might try a swinger. He tries to cut it back into the middle, and now it falls for Houlihan, charged down by the defender. Hitchin plays it through him in, and it's lifted over the top. Kabamba, he's onside. Ashmore comes out and blocks, and it won't fall for a blue shirt, and it's cleared away by Ilisanmi.
I thought he was in, Mark.
Pools halt the counter-attack on the halfway line. It's a throw-in, but Kabamba, if his first touch had just been a bit closer to him, I guess, Brian, but it was very difficult.
Again, I know it was on the volley, but I thought he might again took it first time and just bashed it across the goal and see what would happen. But again, that touch just allowed the goalkeeper to get set.
It's quite good to watch at the minute.
It's a good game, to be fair. They're both having a go, and like I say, credit to Boreham Wood. But 2 good teams on here.
What's a nice turn on the halfway line, and Shabanga's got a chance here. Kitchen's got to try and get across. Sorry, it's Kerr trying to get across. He closed the angle down, and Shamanga's bashed it wide of the goal. Half a chance.
Yeah, half a chance, mate. Yeah, he's like say, he just got the yard. He did the hardest thing, really, but he just didn't hit the target. But you can see what he's about. He's he's brimming with confidence.
Killip with a thunderous clearance downfield, headed away by Stevens, flicked on by Ricketts, onto the chest though only of Michael Rains now, and Rains slides it across the right hand side. Donaldson inside for Featherstone, who turns away from trouble and finds Rains again. Rains through a gap for Houlihan, who can turn towards the left hand side and give it to Kitching. Kitching immediately dives in field with it. Nice ball at the feet of James, who turns on his right foot again. He might try to strike, he does, and it's just wide.
He's done well again, very similar to the other chance. Mark Kitchen coming in off the left hand side, played it into his feet. So Luke was sort of half turned already, just got it out of his feet, and again he'll be a little bit disappointed he hasn't hit the target, but a good effort.
Nice to hear we've got sound in Sweden, in Thailand.
I tell you what.
Ball in the edge of the box there, and suddenly there's a chance.
Give a penalty, by the way.
He's given it,
a penalty. Let's give a penalty. Caught him late, tripped him, waited to see where the ball went, the referee.
Yeah.
He's been allowed to run a long way. It's a bad goal to concede, a bad penalty to concede.
Kane Smith brought down.
There wasn't many appeals, to be fair.
No, it was he got to the byline, he chopped the ball back and crossed, and as you say, Brian, the referee waited a long time
see where it went,
to see if there was any advantage, and there wasn't. And now Sorba Thomas has the chance to score from the spot. Ben Killip trying to delay the penalty kick here, just trying to put Thomas off, making him wait, but just over 26 minutes on the clock.
Not much of a run up.
Thomas said it is a very short run up. Killip dancing across his line. Can he put Thomas off? He can't. Thomas slides it into the corner, and Boreham Wood lead by a goal to nil, and rather ill-advisedly the players go and celebrate in front of the town end.
That was a strange one, Mark. Like I say, we've been having all of it. The last 10-15 minutes has been all us. Well, like I say, he did that. I mean, he's sort of like coming from the right wing and got to the byline, and he'd already played it back, then got caught late. And like I say, I think the referee decided, there wasn't really any advantage, so he's given the penalty. But it really wasn't one of them stone walls where every player in the Boreham Wood team appeals.
Here's Thomas, the goal scorer now. They're looking for more. And look at the woodwork, and it's luckily fallen, would you believe, right at the arms of Killip. It was Tyrone Marsh who flicked on the cross at the front post, and it hit the outside of the post. And Boreham Wood not far away from a second.
Got away with one there, Mark.
Featherstone and Donaldson, the men over it again. Featherstone,
good ball.
Good ball. And it's all the way through, and he can't get it. Surely it must go in. It is. It's got to be a goal. The referee saying no, it's stayed out. Kabamba surely must have scored there. The ball handed away by Ashmore. Kabamba was there to volley it towards goal. I don't know how it might have stayed out. I've no idea.
Yeah, we don't know, but it was a good ball in from Nicky Featherstone. I don't like to say we're only guessing from here, Mark, but we can see it looked in from here, but we don't know really. We're guessing.
Well, Kabamba, if he hasn't put that in, I don't know how he hasn't.
He's missed a chance. He missed a sitter.
Well, I was just expecting the net to bulge, and it did, because the one of the players actually hit the net, and that made it look like the ball had gone in even more. But that's a foul by Featherstone.
It's red. That might be red.
Well, the reaction suggests that Nicky Featherstone's hurt the man, and it's going to be a...
That might be red.
Yeah, I think the reaction of everyone...
Yeah, everybody coming together, he's got to give a red here.
Well, Nicky Featherstone's lunged in a little bit there, and the bench for Boreham Wood all leapt to their feet, and Nicky Featherstone's in trouble here.
I'll be amazed if this is anything less than a red. Bear in mind, he just gave a lad...
I don't know what he's given the card there, but it's not a red, is it? Is it a red?
No,
he's given him a yellow.
Yellow, that's amazing.
Well, he's given him a yellow card. Pooley Fluff says, is Luke Williams back on the bench? No, not this afternoon, no. Featherstone with a right wing corner. Can Pools get back on level terms here before the break? They've got just over 6 minutes to do something. Featherstone whips it in. Rains with the attempt on goal, and it's on just volleyed across goal and wide.
On the volley.
Well, he just levered it towards goal there, the big centre back, but he couldn't get it on target, and nobody could knock it in.
Just didn't fully connect with it, Mark, did he? And all that.
Here's Mafuta now, inside for Rains. Now Donaldson, bit of space on the right hand side for Kyoso. Can Pools conjure something here as injury time approaches at the end of this first half? Oh, it's intercepted really well by Ilasanmi, and he digs out a ball across to this near side.
He's done well.
Excellently in the air. Not sure what that board says there. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Murta trying to slide it forward. Kerr can't get there, and Chimanga's one-on-one with Michael Rainsinger. Gets on his left foot. He's across Kyoso, and he shoots back across goal, and it's wide. But he is a handful, Brian. He's causing problems this afternoon. Chimanga.
He's sharp, he's bright, he's on the front foot. It looks like a bit of a problem for Michael Rains. Whether he's pulled something chasing him back.
Well, Dave Challoner's first game at National League level with Fylde was against Luke Garrard and Boreham Wood a couple of seasons ago, and they've become firm friends since. It's Garrard who's having the upper hand at the moment. 3 minutes into this second half, it's a corner. Thomas whips it in with pace towards the far post. It's a good header away by Kyoso because Murta was behind him. Picked up by Marsh, who's managed to whip the ball back into the middle, but it's too close to Killip, and Killip rolls it out now. He's trying to get Pools on the attack. It's a good delivery into the feet of Donaldson as well. Donaldson glides past a couple of challenges and plays the left hand side here, kitchen in all kinds of space. Early crossing towards Kabamba. Featherstone on the rebound. It's over the bar.
It's just his body shape, Mark. Never really, fancied him. He sort of took it on the half volley. The ball skipped up fast from the turf. But just the way the body shape was from Nicky, you just never really fancied him hitting the target from there. We've created chances, we've missed a couple of chances. Like says the debate whether we've scored a one and never got it, but they've missed a couple as well. So yeah, it's providing we have to keep everything locked up at the back and just being a little bit more clinical in the final third.
There was an ooh from the crowd there as the ball was chipped up into the area of Peter Kyoso's body. He probably doesn't want the ball to be chipped up into,
especially on a cold day,
on a cold afternoon like this.
It's just what you want in a cold November afternoon at Hartlepool.
He just went down on his haunches for a little bit, but he's back to his feet now. Oh, it's a lovely ball, teased across the edge of the area now, and maybe a chance to sneak it through, and Chimanga's through, a chance, 2-0, and he scores his 13th goal of the season. The 22-year-old is on fire for Boreham Wood, and 5 minutes into the second half, his goal has taken them within sight of 3 points for the first time against Hartlepool.
As soon as it was put through to Mark, he just fancied him to score, and he just wasn't going to miss. He's clinical, he's lethal from there. It'll be interesting. Obviously, if you're putting Aaron Cunningham on, you wouldn't have thought 2-0 down at home. That's not really a game changer, really, is it? Other than like pushing Peter Kyoso further up the field.
Ball into the box there. It could be a third. Killip makes a save, but it's put in. It's offside.
Offside.
Tyrone Marsh was the man who hit the net, but the flag went up against him and saves Pools because that was game, set and match had the third goal gone in. It remains 2-0. Featherstone inside for Hawks. He scored twice in that 4-0 win last season. Can he find one to bring Pools back into it this afternoon? Pools, the fans are growing.
They want it forward, don't they? But you don't want to just play it forward, just for the sake of it, and try and build it up. And I get the fact that, you know, they want to see more activity in the final third, but we don't want to be bashing it forward just for the sake of it.
Donaldson now inside right channel. Right hand side is Hawks. Kioso's there as well. It's a bit congested. Hawks has done well. He feeds it at the edge of the box for Toure. He comes wide for Kioso. Kioso's got Toure on the overlap to the byline. Here's Jimmy Toure now. He's crossing to the box. Glance towards the edge of the area, and Hawks trying to line one up. Donaldson keeps it alive. 25 yards out. Featherstone will hit one.
Yes!
Oh, what a goal!
Going on.
Nicky Featherstone drives a left-footed shot right into the bottom corner of the net. Ashmore left with no chance, and the midfielder bashes Pools back into contention.
Game on now, Mark. Absolutely game on. Great finish. He's doing well today, Nicky Featherstone. Very rarely gives the ball away. He's playing his usual self today. He's kept things moving. This will be a test of what Boreham Wood are made of now. We need to go and grab it by the horns now. Really go for it.
Now here's Ricketts, 40 yards from goal inside for Murta. He turns and gets it around Kioso and tries to get the return pass, but it's just too far ahead of him. Murta goes and pushes Featherstone off the ball though.
It was a bulldozer.
Featherstone left a bit shell-shocked there, and Boreham Wood worked the ball into Shimanga's feet again. The defensive stepped off him. Shimanga trying to find the angle for a shot. Cleared away by Kerr in the end. Boreham Wood trying to kill this game with a third. Played around the corner nicely for Smith there. Hawks goes across, but Smith gets to the byline. He's still going into the box, back towards Solis.
Oh, wow.
And it's wide of the target, and it was deflected wide by Peter Kioso's challenge.
In the end, it's a good challenge, that, Mark, to be fair, because it's probably destined for the bottom corner, so Peter's done ever so well there. I do think they'll give us a chance.
You'd fancy one more chance. As long as we can keep it at 2 at the other end, you'd fancy Pools would have another chance.
100%.
Thomas Thor with a corner for Boreham Wood here. Whipped in with pace again. And what a save that is from Killip. It looked like it was going to drop beyond him. And now Pools on the break, and if Pools do manage to get something, they might look back on that moment with real importance. Here's Donaldson right at the other end of the field. Now he puts the ball in the middle. It's all the way across and volleyed clear. Kioso brilliantly heads it down on the path of Kitching, left hand side. Here's Toure now. Toure trying to get beyond his man. It's a tackle that comes in. It's out to play for a throw.
Good save from Killip, Mark. I have to say it's kept us in the game. Not only kept us in the game, it got us on the attack as well.
Kerr to Cunningham, who plays it square for Killip, who nudges it out to Donaldson. Right hand side now is Kioso. Kioso for Donaldson. Donaldson up the line for James. Brilliantly done by James to release Kioso. Kabamba's in behind, but he can't find him. Kabamba gets to the ball anyway, but he's brought it wide. Kioso's with him. Here's Peter Kioso now. Can he find an angle for a cross? He's got Donaldson. He tees it up for Donaldson. He whips one into the middle. James flicks it on. Kitchen gets there. It's a penalty! It's a penalty! Kitchen got to the blind side of the defender and got there first, and Marsh brought him down, and Pools have a penalty 8 minutes from time.
Come on his shoulder, didn't he? Marsh didn't know where he was at. He just went for the challenge, went for the ball, but he didn't have a clue where Mark Kitchen was at, and he's just stolen it on him.
Well, it's a penalty, and Jimmy Toure a chance to bring Pools level at 2-2 here. And how much nerve does Jimmy Toure have as he strides up to the ball and scores!
Good finish.
Pools come from 2 goals down. Last week, the taste of the agony of giving away a 2-goal lead. This afternoon, it's role reversal. And Nathan Ashmore now doesn't want to give us the ball back.
But I do think that, the sense is with us now, Mark. I do. It's like I say, you think of like when they were walking to take throw-ins and things like that. It's backfired on them. I just say, just play the game.
Featherstone turns away from Murta in the halfway line and feeds it into Toure now. Toure, he's going to run at his man. Smith backs off. Toure jinks into space, 22 yards out, right along the edge of the 18-yard box. Can't carry on. And then Donaldson is fouled. Oh, he says no.
It's a 2-footer.
The referee says not even a free kick, and now suddenly Shimanga at the other end. Donaldson's in agony. Shimanga at the other end of the field cuts inside, and he's run into trouble. And Kabamba turns away and feeds it to Hawks, and suddenly now has a chance. Hawks comes forward and kicks it, tries to catch Ashmore, who'd come off his line to abuse Ryan Donaldson. He tries to catch him off his line, and he's sent a floating effort wide. Killip rolls it into the feet of Cunningham on the right. Cunningham drills it forward. It's a great pass, and Gavamba lays it off for Featherstone. And now right hand side is James. James looking to take on his man. Gets to the byline, crosses into the middle. Pushed out by Ashmore, and nobody was waiting. And it's cleared away. Goals are knocking at the door.
Absolutely. Fairness, the goalkeeper's done well there, Mark. I have to say, he's just got a hand on that just to take the sting out of it. But these are rocking now. They're on the back foot.
3,377 is the attendance today, by the way. 24 Boreham Wood fans among them. Murta. Oh, he's been beaten to it by James, and he gets away. James into the edge of the box now. Touré's in the middle. Gavamba, chance to go on back. Puts it across. It's blocked behind for a corner. Pools getting closer.
These have gone, by the way. They've gone. Put it in.
Back to Donaldson. Donaldson square for Hawks. Hawks left hand side for Kitching. Kitching for Cunningham. Cunningham under pressure there, and he's got to be careful. He gives it back to Kitching. And now Kerr across to Kioso in space on the halfway line right hand side. Kioso motors forward. Gives it to James down the touchline. James inside for Donaldson. Moves it first time for Featherstone in space, 35 yards out. Featherstone, can he find a pass? Donaldson arriving into the edge of the box for Touré. Donaldson carries it on. Touré blocked off on the edge of the box, but Kitchen will put a cross into the box then, and James! Couldn't quite reach it. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Tell you what.
And that might just see us through to the final whistle here. Ashmore will take enough time about the goal kick, I think, to see the final whistle arrive.
Obviously, since Nicky Featherstone put that goal in to make it 2-1, we've been a better side. We've asked all the questions. Granted, they might have got a little bit anxious and a little bit nervous, you know, as you do. But yeah, after being 2-0 down, I think, you know, I took the hand off for a 2-2. You know, we keep saying, you know, draws are not enough. We've got to start winning games. But when you're 2-0 down, like I say, take that today. Well done, the manager. He was brave enough to make more or less 3 substitutions straight away when he recognised it probably wasn't working in the final third. And he changed it. He changed the formation, and it changed the game. To be fair, like I say, Nicky Featherstone did well. Ben Killip a save at 2-1, kept us in the game. So yeah, but like I say, probably a point gained in the end.